Firstly, I just want to start off by letting you guys know that I have indeed had an encounter with Lizard Man. Well, that's at least what I think it was. I don't feel comfortable releasing my actual name, for it seems that I am being followed, so I'm just going to go with Brad. I work at a pet store in a fairly small town on the outskirts of Mississippi. Our town is usually pretty quiet and we really don't get much business, but things have been different lately. I first started noticing that a lot more people have been coming into the pet store as of recent weeks. This didn't really set off any alarms at first, but they've been awfully strange people, I guess you could say. Most of them don't really talk much, and when they do, it's usually just one-word answers, or they point to the pet they have a question about. Now, I don't really have too many friends, and I live alone, so I didn't really mention this to anyone else. Not that anyone would really care. You're probably thinking, okay, some weird people came in, so what? But I'm about to tell you what really got me to open up and start telling you guys about what happened. So one night at about 8 o'clock when we close, I started doing my rounds of the store to make sure that everyone was out, and I could lock up. Now the store isn't very big, and there's only about 2 aisles, so I walked horizontally across both of them to make sure no one was on either. First one clear, but as I passed I heard some kind of weird slurping sounds coming from the back. I paused for a minute. What could that be? I slowly crept around the second aisle, and saw a tall pale woman at the end turn towards one of the pet cages. Ma'am, what exactly are you doing? She didn't turn around, but I could still hear the slurping noises. Now, I'm a blue belt in karate, so most people know not to fuck with me, but even I was startled when she would not even acknowledge my presence. Maybe something was wrong with her? Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. The store is now closed. This is when I knew shit was not right around here. She slowly turned around. Half of one of our white mice was lodged into her mouth. Blood was pouring down her chin and onto her shirt. She let it drop. What hit the floor was a half mouse, half disintegrated carcass. A piercing smile developed on her face. I turned around and ran toward the counter. I grabbed the baseball bat we keep back there for protection purposes, but by the time I turned around she was already at the front door. She casually walked into the parking lot and out of view behind all of the cars, and then she was gone. I didn't know what to make of this. I took the bat and went back to where the mouse was. The upper half of the poor thing's body was disintegrated. I swept him up and put him into my backpack. I know it sounds gross, but I live on my own and sometimes the only food I have is the pets from the pet store. I really didn't want to be alone after that, so I decided I would head to the bar. There was one in the same plaza where I worked. I didn't go there often, but this wasn't a usual circumstance. I arrived and took my seat. The bar was pretty dead considering it was a Tuesday night, but there was one other man besides the bartender. He was burly, probably mid-40s with a fishing hat on. The bartender looked at me and asked me what I would like to drink. "1 Clarenza on ice, please." Then we were interrupted by the TV. The woman started speaking. "I am advising all Mississippi citizens to stay inside. We are getting strange reports of a deranged lizard man." Lizard man? Huh? What a bunch of bullshit. Pardon my French, the burly man said. The bartender replied to his statement, "Yeah, but the locals seem to be up in a frenzy. A couple more nights like this and hell, I might have to shut down the bar. That damn lizard already incinerated my wife's salon." "Wait, you actually believe in a damn lizard man?" The burly man was not convinced. "Christ, what will these damn commies come up with next?" I got the sudden urge to go home, so I chugged the water the bartender gave me, and left a $20 for him. I walked in the darkness to my car, but when I went sit inside there was a DVD on my seat. What could this be? I debated on throwing it away, but I had a really bad stomach ache from the guinea pig I ate yesterday, and I really just wanted to go home. I didn't listen to music during the drive. All I could hear was the sound of my raunchy farts ripping out of my ass. I rolled down the windows to try and reduce the smell, but a mosquito flew in. I tried to swat at it with a beer bottle I found on the floor, but it slipped out of my hand, and I heard it crash on the side of the road. Geez, sure hope someone doesn't run over that. Finally I made it home. I grabbed my portable DVD player, and sat on the toilet. I've never been happier to be on the toilet in my life because the next thing I saw made me shit myself out of fear. It was the pet store. All of the cages were open and I could see the lizards all scattering around. Then music started playing and they all lined up. "Holy Mother of Christmas," I mumbled. The lizards got up on their hind legs. and they all started doing the electric slide.